Hi, and welcome back to Plastic Models by a Regular Dude, and another video entry into the excuse me, Facebook page, Monogram Models Clubhouse, which is was started by Mr. Jim Deck, aka Shutter Ace on YouTube. So this entry, I've already done the Monogram Sherman Calliope rocket launcher Screaming Mimi, and I've done the Monogram Panzer IV. Those are the kits that I've built so far since I've been back in the hobby that are hardcore Monogram kits. And now I'm going to show you the third one, but before I show you what it is, a little background. This is a kit that I really wanted as a kid. In the summer of '76, a friend of mine that actually got me into armor model, Monogram armor models, or armor models in general. It was the first ones I ever built. My best friend at the time, Dean, it was the summer after 6th grade, just before 7th grade, and he was a year later than me. And we were both really into World War II stuff, and really dug the old war flicks like Battle of the Bulge, Kelly's Heroes, The Great Escape, all the classics from the 60s. We loved those flicks, and any time we got an opportunity, if one was on the tube, we'd spend the night, we'd switch back and forth, staying the night at each other's house and watch those war movies. And naturally, one of the things we did was build models, and he introduced me to the Monogram Models armor series. And the way he did that, it was kind of weird. He had in his backyard, or side yard really, he had this place where he used to, before I moved up there, and when he was kind of by himself, he used to have all of his, he'd take his models out there and play with them and stuff. They were more like toys back then for people of our age. But he would go out there, and then eventually he'd blow them up or whatever. He'd have these big wars, and it was all pretty much buried in this dirt area. And we were rooting around and found some old soldiers and stuff, and then we found some parts of the actual kits, one of which I still have somewhere. Maybe I'll show you that at a different time, but I found a part of a vehicle, and I was like, what is this? And when he told me about it, I was floored. I'd never even heard of the vehicle, and I thought it was really cool. Then when I got into the actual models, I discovered what it was, and this is it. This is it, the Monogram M29 Weasel. I think some people call it the Water Weasel because it was another version that wasn't amphibious, whereas this one was amphibious. This is it. He had a part of one of these buried, just part of the front, and it really intrigued me. But it was one of those kits that I never could find as a kid, and so I never built one. So year and a half, 2 years ago maybe, I was looking on eBay and found one. It was kind of an estate sale kind of thing. This woman, I guess her dad or somebody had passed on, and she was selling all of his old models, and this was one of them. And I mean, it was the original. It was in the '70s white Monogram box. So I bought it, and then what I wanted to do, though, I didn't want to just build it straight out of the box. I wanted to use it as a project of kind of quote unquote super detailing and kind of improving the detail on it. Because being an old kid, I think this was originally tooled in the '60s, mid '60s, I think. So it wasn't really that great as far as detail, but it wasn't too bad. So I took it upon myself to change some stuff. For example, these handles right here on the original kit were just basically bumps like these that were supposed to be grab handles or tie down points or something. So what I did is I shaved them all off, sanded it smooth, and then using these little pieces here from another kit, I don't remember what they were for. I cut them off though because they were longer and glued those on there. This part back here was a solid clump of plastic with a little solid piece coming out that was supposed to look like a piece of pipe for the exhaust. So what I did is I got some brass screen and some strips of leftover photo etch fret, and then some tubular styrene from Evergreen, and made an exhaust, weathered that all up, and made this this screen to go over it. And then in the back I totally redid these because the ones in the kit are just hideous and didn't have all this linkage or the steering linkage here, so I scratch built all that from Evergreen flat stock and some round stock. Found this little piece here, I don't even remember what that was either, but it, you know, was shaped just about right, so I put that on there for the control linkage for the steering. And added this rope in the front, dirtied up the windshield, and I think that was pretty much it as far as detailing went. I looked at some reference photos online and just went to it, and then I muddied it up down here using Vallejo pigments, and you can see some white stuff down here when I made some track marks in a base I was working on that I never finished because I didn't like it, but someday I'll do that. But that was it. I used the kit figure, which really wasn't too bad, again considering the age, but you know, turned out pretty cool, I think, especially for a really old kit like this. So that was the third Monogram kit. Another one of those, what I like to call nostalgia builds, from one of the kits that I wish I would have had as a kid. So that's it, the Monogram M29 Weasel. So I hope you enjoyed this little look back at another Monogram kit. So all of y'all on Monogram Models Clubhouse, hope you dig this and add some more of your own if you can. So that's it for now, and I will see you all later.